The reality of it is that a whole heap of one feel say them might do something of interest. But when you check it really, it's not no interest because black people look on all the things them you see on all YouTube and what them call it TikTok. Look on the difference between when you see the China man TikToking and when you see black people are TikToking. What you see? It's a mess, Rasta. It's a mess. And you hear the man talk about say in Africa. In Africa, it's only the Bible get translated in the language of the people. But the science and technology and the advancement and all them something there, that will get translated in the language of the Zulu language or the other languages. So you know, say somebody I try blind way. And we grab onto the darkness so much that we don't even know say darkness we now. We don't even know say darkness. Because we are taking one and a search for the light. And don't know say I are the light. All you have to do is open your eyes and your mind and your mentality. Because we get crooked inside and outside. This is Mutabaruka. We want to present to you a wholesome kind of level of consciousness right now. So subscribe and tell your friend them. This is Mutabaruka. We get crooked, we think like them, we walk like them, we talk like them, we eat like them, we sleep, we have sex like them, all of the things them. We get manipulated. Manipulation. And we don't realize it's manipulated, we get manipulated because all people are them free. Free from what? Or free from doing what? What is this thing? Some people talk about righteousness. What the hell is righteousness? What is righteousness? When a man says righteousness, what I'm talking about? When a man call a next man unrighteous, or call a next man, well, remember Bible term that them call pagan. The pagan them. What the hell are you talking about? Have you ever considered the origin of pagan and where the word come from? And who were the pagans? You're going to recognize the traditions of pagans in Europe was a similar tradition to country people in Jamaica. And you hear the man talk about religion. When you start to put up a man who don't look like you on your wall, don't look like your father, nor your mother, nor your sister, nor your brother, nor your uncle, and you start to believe, say, that man, that image, is that image you're supposed to really give homage to, that you're supposed to pray to, then you know, say, you're gone topsy-turvy. We're gone topsy-turvy. And it's year in, year out, year in, year out. The same thing keep regurgitating itself. We need to vomit and get it out of our system. We need to vomit. That is what we need to do. Get all of that craziness out of our system. Because how long we will continue that way? How long? How much years gone? 500 years. We couldn't call certain years because it's after we realize certain things, we realize that, but no, this is not going to work out. And we have man who come and woman who come and stand up and fight. Fight for we. But we were there, so they're not them to fight for. And not them to fight for us, sir. Because who would have known, say, after all, in the 60s and early 70s, would have still a fight for what we would have fight for in the 60s and early 70s. Who would have know that? Look, we have a system of government, you know, where claims that them are move from the king or the queen of England. But them are move from it by validating what them seeing to do with the same laws and argument where the same slave master give away. So in order to reach our point of reference, we have to use for them point of reference for reference our point. I want to understand what I say. A man give a paper and him write down some things on it and say this is the law. And you say, you know, so I'm going to move it from them law, yeah? But the only way you can move it from the law is to validate yourself. Be so far away him to set down and write down as film law against you. You understand that? So you feel say you get free now because you say you move it from the law, but you are all of the people them who are validate where them are come to as a new law, use the old law to validate it. How can the slaves, I'm going to say slaves in this time cautiously, how can the slaves free themselves with the slave master argument to validate why they want to be free? How you going to do that? How you going to maintain a system? I mean, I should say maintain. How are you going to get rid of a system by using the system where you try to get rid of to validate the system where you try to reach? I understand that. Maybe me lack of intelligence or understanding of these things. But why would I use if that's in my house, if you have a house, and me I say, boy, right now, me don't want that in the house, you know. Me just don't want it in the house. Me not going to use something in the house to say, the reason why me don't want it in the house is because that and that. To validate, right? No, sir. You just don't want it in the house, you just don't want it in the house. You know, you see a rat in the house, and you want to come out of the house, you run the rat or kill the rat and throw him out. You know, so I say, why? You know, say, according to the cat, we have to watch it and say, oh, we have to really deal with the rat. No, we don't work it out. Get rid of the rat. Totally get rid of the rat. That's how I see it. So I'll better about the king now. The king will get coronation when this weekend now. And them still in the parliament and say, God heal the king. The king is the head. But them say they want to get rid of the king. But the only way them can get rid of the king is sit down around the thing where the king give it. To get rid of him. We can't just say no king, boom, and that's it. We have to go through all sort of this and all sort of that to get rid of the king. Or the queen. You get rid of the queen by using what the king have to get rid of the queen. No, sir. But now we get rid of her. Because you pass on. Because I remember saying, no, some of them they name Queen's Council and some of them name no King's Council. So if they name Queen's Council, I know them name King Council. How them reach a King Council? The only reason why them name King Council now is because that king will go rule England now. But them want to get rid of the king. But them still name Queen's Council, King's Council. When you address them, you say, attorney of law, this, that King's Council. And how you get rid of the King's Council is by using some law where them give it to get rid of the King's Council. Or get rid of the king. And then you hear them say, the king is dead, long live the king. That is a good example. A good, very good example of the king not dead. Because the queen is dead, long live the queen. Then if the queen dead, the queen must lay dead. And don't rise her up in her son. The king dead. Don't make the king dead live. The king is dead. Yes, the king dead. Why we want residues? It's like you mix sugar and water, and the sweetest part of the sugar and water is the bottom, because the sugar it's settle along at the bottom, and you have to keep stirring it. And it's that them I do. So we are saying, we have a farm and fashion our ideas and concepts as it relates to our liberty and understanding of self, and where we come on as a come inherit is not necessarily the thing that we should tag along with, and we can use things out there to validate our right and wrong at this moment in time, because our right is not their right, our morals is not their morals. You know, see it. Where them was crooked all the while, and now them gonna tell me how crooked go. Look on America. Look on America now. America cut off the land. White people come to America. White people come to America because they was running from Europe. Specific, the British Isle, them was running from it, and them reaching America. And there was a time when California and Texas was Mexico. It was Mexico. Now these white people come in America, control America, run out the people them out of them country, put a border and say, you over there near Mexico, you over here near America, don't come over here, so. And then the other countries them where them go and rape and kill and rob the people them. When the people them decide, say, watch out, we are come back from a land where you're thief. Them say them are refugees. Them are try to come through the border to make America be like a third world country. When most of them in there descended from these third world country people. One heap of them. So them have a border where them put up there to maintain them supremacy as usual. And then the people them now are coming. Them don't want the people them coming out of the country. You know, see it? Because them set certain things in the people them country to make life miserable. You think none of them do it? Them set things in them South American country, Haiti, all them little country where spread around the place. Them set things in there and go like none of them set it. And the country where them coming from miserable. Some decide so them want to go into greener pastures, not knowing that sometime the other man grass only look greener. But when you go over there, it's pure weed. And you have to go weed it out. Same thing with Europe. Look how much wickedness Europeans do to the people them. Everywhere, everywhere. Barring nowhere. And the country them where them come from. War and all sort of things in the country. And the people them want to go across the border and kill themselves when there's some little boat. We're supposed to hold all 50 and you see all 300 people in there and them drown. Some of them say them now bringing them people there in them country. But guess what? And the people them have built the country for them. Yes. So what is it? What is it that is causing black people not to wake up to these realities what we talk about? Where we are saying it's a real situation we find ourselves in a real thing. Long time white people have killed white people like wow. Long time. And see them do it again. Well, them never stop doing it, but no blatant. Russia, Ukraine, America, and all the other white country, them England, and them things they gang up. White people have killed white people, but it don't look that way there. It don't look that way there, no. But when you hear something that go on in Africa, you hear the savage them, the beast them, no, rich, oh, black people don't know for this, black people can't do this and that and that. If you look at the history of the world, look at the history of the world, and you will see say, most of the wars and the killing that go on cross borders is not indigenous people go over a next country or kill our people. It's Europeans go over, come out of them country and go kill other people and enslave them. We talk about India, where them split up and make one part named Pakistan and one part named India. We are talking about Africa, where them split up, called Nigeria, Ghana, Sierra Leone. It was one Africa, and white people sit down in a conference and decide which part German, which part Ghana is Guyana, sorry, Nigeria is Cameroon, is and Sierra Leone is and all them something there. They split up the place and then create what we call tribal war. And when the tribal war get out of hand, you hear them say black people love to kill black people. It wasn't like that. Now we see people fight over religion. Religious belief. There was no religion in Africa that African people used to fight other people for because them is not a for them elk. None. The war come when Christians and Muslims come in Africa. Religious wars, the most dangerous wars. Religious wars come in Africa between the Muslims and Christians. And when Africans start to embrace Islam and Christianity, then the mindset become out of the world, literally out of the world. So them no business about them land again. So the Muslims and the Arabs, the Arabs and the European them, come in at them land and take with them land and then say, see, there are better place there in the sky for you after you die. That is where it's there. It's a terrible thing we find ourselves in. And we have to wake up. We have to wake up. Too much how we come when I talk this thing. You know, say, people talk about hero. We don't need no more hero. We have enough hero for survey. 1 million years. All back into the another ice age or heat age or dinosaur age. That is really our catch. Because we still, I go on like say, we want to live in a tent. Because we don't have no land. And they make you feel comfortable in a tent now. It's a crazy thing. Crazy thing. We say them up on Gully Bank. People live in the river, which part of the river is supposed to flood. And feel comfortable with that. So just like talk about rationale and logics, because really logics, because why must we, the slave master have a certain logics that he live by. And we are live by his logics. And it's not serving us any purpose. Why shouldn't we understand logics from a different perspective? Because morality, our morals different from them morality. Because when we say we not deal with that, them I say them I deal with that. We know say there's certain thing that is common amongst human beings. That is thieves and murdering. Come on, any country where you're going now. If you murder a man, it's wrong. If you thief something from somebody, it's wrong. No law not tell you that. No law not have to tell you that murder and thief, wrong. But you have laws that man create according to him culture. According to him culture, him create certain laws. But when him invade a next country, him impose them laws upon the country to the point now where the people who are under the control of these capturers, the people under it start to feel say is moral laws. I wonder if you understand what I say. A lot of these laws that them have nothing to do with morality, have nothing to do with human understanding of what is wrong and what is right. Them create it according to them culture and impose it upon we. And then we now start to take it as moral compass or logical explanation why these laws must be defined according to our understanding through their eyes of culture. For instance, in Afghanistan, a woman is not allowed, we're not only in Afghanistan, to walk, to go out of her house by herself. She must have a man traveling with her. In certain Arab, Islamic countries, the only place of a woman you say publicly is her item. She have to be covered. That is not morality. Even though in Iran, they have moral police, morality police. And as you, if you follow in the news, you can say, where a woman, a young woman who take off her tired we are call it, and go public, was killed. There was a big demonstration in Iran the other day about it. Till all the women decided to take off them tired and walk in the middle of the road. I have morality police will lock them up and say it is unlawful and morally wrong for a woman head not to be covered in public. No, that not in our cultural expression. That not in our cultural expression. But when we take for them moral laws and start to push it upon ourselves and define ourselves through it, it becomes problematic. Because we start to become schizophrenic. We start to become like them, but not like them. We are like stooges and shadow of the real thing. And we have our thing. Morality must be right across the board. It can be morally right in one country, and in the next country, it's morally wrong. Therefore, it's not something that I would give credence to. The only laws that I should want to recognize is the laws that go against the human understanding of survival. Can this law allow human beings to coexist with each other and survive? That is the law. All other laws is cultural. And one culture can't face another culture because everybody is not living in the same environment. Everybody will have the same history. So we have to work with the history and the environment where we live in now. And if you're not living in that environment, you can't come over here to come and tell me, say, look at now, oh, you have to do this over here, so. And you come tell me now, we must do over here, so. And if me not do it over here, so now you're going to impede me. It's madness. It's madness. You in your house with your children and you lay down certain laws for your children. And look here, anytime you go out, you must come home at a certain time, 10 o'clock. That is a law. That is where you create in your house to keep your house intact. Now, the next man over there, so him kind of say, him no want him pick me go out a road at all. And you start to criticize him and him start to criticize you because, well, look how he make the picnic come out. We see the picnic 9 o'clock last night down the road and you start to criticize it like, say, God, I go strike you because you're picnic out and you keep your picnic inside. No go so. No go so. So if that would be the case, our 2 football team depend the thing and I pray. So them go win and 1 lose. 1 lose. The problem with cultural morality is that most of the time is the people who on top kind of institutionalize their cultural practices and the people who is on the bottom. Yes. And the people on the bottom now start to internalize it and make it become them. So them lose focus after what them did know genetically through them DNA. Them lose that perspective. And now this new thing, this new cultural expression take them over and make them believe say it is their thing. But when we look on African people, it's pure zombies about the place. Zombies. You know the name zombie? Yes, pure zombie. Them create some beings. You talk about man can't create man. White people create some beings where things say them is themselves, but them is not. Them is like the AI where them are create now. Yes, we are some of the AIs. That was before the AIs. Them have some modern AI now, but we still is the dinosaur AIs, where it's manipulated and controlled by European mindset and European ideas, thoughts, thinking, and cultural expression. Yeah, that is really what it is all about. So we wear them clothes, we eat them food, you know, our perception of beauty is from their eyes, our perception of God is from their eyes, the way we talk about God is justified and validated from their eyes. What a terrible thing. Even the God where we have in a way, where we will kill for, the perception of that God is defined and governed by their eyes. By their eyes. And you can't come out of that because the people them who get brainwashed, the zombies them, the same zombies them who get brainwashed, will lick against the other zombies them. Zombie and fight zombie over something where it's not theirs. Yeah man, that's how it go. When you look at the war, them will fight. A man will go to Africa and take away your land. And then tell you, say, boy, right now, there's someone that sing about a goal in the sky and all them something, and there's a place for you and me up there. A joke business, because him a validate in reality after where him get taught, learn, and become a part of him. That you have gold in the sky and thing, and people are going to inherit the heaven. The meek shall inherit the earth, and that them say to you, but you know, look on the part there. When you're dead, you're going to go to heaven. Most people don't want dead. But they must say, all right, when you're dead, you're going to go to heaven, so just all right, just be all right with death. That is the beginning of life. What kind of madness is that? What kind of madness is that? I don't know no more life. And this life I know. When I did that to take care of myself, whatsoever it is. Then how come them a say, I'm a Gideon and that and this and this and you see them a look to the future, them a build AI to take a people job, them a build skyscrapers, them a build all that and all them something there. Them a plan to go on Mars. And black people sit down long and so I talk about when them dead, where I go happen and when they go happen. It's your business. A time we wake up outside. I'm going to tell you something. Proof that you're a zombie and you're controlled and manipulated. How did they get you to look on a box of cigarette and the cigarette tells you that smoking kills and you bypass it and still buy the cigarette and smoke it? And then when you smoke it and nothing happens, you say, then whatever. See, there are years me I smoke cigarette and nothing happens to me. It's madness. Madness. How did they get you to do that? If you look on a box, we say, the Surgeon General warned that smoking will destroy you, man. And you just ignore that. How did they get you to do that? If that is not zombie, that is not internalizing another man's idea of, we never used to smoke cigarette in a long time thing, you know. Man roll up tobacco and put it in a thing. Nicotine this, nicotine that, the amount of things that them put on the cigarette for trap you. The cigarette is an addiction, it trap you. How did they get us to do that? We never used to drink sugar. We boil the cane juice in a something and put it down side way. How did they get us if we left clear for Africa or only pack cane there? And come here so come stop use cane and them give it in a sugar. White sugar at that. How did they get us to do that? How did they get us to do that? How did they get us to have so much guns? To kill each other? If that is not zombie, I don't know what is. Look how much gun they bought the place. Most of the gun we don't make. Yet still, we are use it every day here a man shot the next man. Him no make the gun. And sometimes the grievance we have against the other person is because of the same system we make him have the gun. Make him have the grievance too. How them get you to do that, brethren? To use a gun to kill somebody. Not knowing, say, the gun where you have come from them same way. And maybe them deliberately put it in your way for you create problems with it too. That is zombie. That is zombie. So when you talk about zombie now, you know what zombie is. This is the Cutting Edge and
the Black Radar YouTube channel. Hit that subscribe button and keep listening.
I tell you, say, we have a clip here from a brethren in Africa there where he might talk about the argument about Martin Luther King and the I have a dream where him say no, him can know so that is a nightmare. But the next brethren planet, as you know, in passed last week, is Arabella Fante. Arabella Fante, very close to Martin Luther King. And him talking about Martin Luther King and some of Martin Luther King ideas and philosophy.
I must confess that that dream that I had that day has at many points turned into a nightmare. Now, I'm not one to lose hope. I keep on hoping. I still have faith in the future. But I've had to analyze many things over the last few years, and I would say over the last few months. I've gone through a lot of soul-searching and agonizing moments. And I've come to see that we have many more difficult days ahead, and some of the old optimism was a little superficial, and now it must be tempered with a solid realism. And I think the realistic fact is that we still have a long, long way to go. Now we are confronting issues that cannot be solved without costing the nation billions of dollars. Now I think this is where we're getting our greatest resistance. They may put it on many other things, but we can't get rid of slums and poverty without it costing the nation something.
The last thing Dr. King said to me before he was murdered was in my home when we were sitting planning strategy for the Poor People's Campaign, which was on the horizon of the politics of the day. That's why he went to Memphis. And in the course of that meeting, he seemed distracted and a little under-focused. And when we asked him what was the matter, Martin said, you know, I've been thinking long and hard about our struggle. We worked tenaciously for our rights. And the culmination of all that effort will be reflected in what we've come to call the integration movement. And I sit here deeply concerned that I suspect we're leading our nation on an integration trip that has us integrating into a burning house. I don't think we quite understood how pathetic that remark was. After all, we're in the midst of a very heady moment in our struggle. We were winning on a lot of frontiers. Bull Connor had been confronted. The bus boycotts had worked. Votes were coming. Even Lyndon Baines Johnson had been struck by the spirit and got up and talked about we shall overcome in the Congress. And for Dr. King to have been in this place at a time when we seemed to be making great headway was a moment to pause and reflect. That reflection has taken longer than I had suspected it would, but it has certainly come to reveal itself fully when we look at the condition in which we find not only our world, but in particular, our nation.
One thing I say is if I start play the little speech regular, how it take life. It take life down in Africa. Because the bridging that talk from down in Africa there. They make that video there last week. This is like a week after we did play that. And we have been playing it for last year. I talk about the little speech with Martin King. I say, you know, him dream is a nightmare. And we hear Arabella Fante who passed last week. You know, that clip where we play, where the Virgin play, was when Arabella Fante was sitting in with some group of people that talk about the last thing Martin Luther King said to him. So we give thanks to the cutting edge, you know. Yes, things take unto itself, life, and gone all over the place because a whole heap of people was not paying, you know, never really paid notice to this little speech when talk about, like, we must send black people into a burning house. I saw him say America. A burning house, and black people are going out when them say, I have a dream. Me no hear a daughter come up with such a profound tune as it relates to African and black consciousness up to now. Me I tell you, I don't hear no other reggae daughter, sister. I hear them talk about personal relationships and I hear them talk about other things politically. But the lyrics from the daughter song gone deep. Me I tell you, historically and mentally it gone deep. That is why we played so much years now. I don't remember about 2, 3, or before COVID we played. Yeah man, that deep, deep data. And if you say you know, if you say you do, I don't even know if it's, you know, so next time I ask, I'm going to ask if she write it. I know is it because I'm black come from American, the melody come from an American tune. But the lyrics of this tune, yes, that is why I play so much. Listen.
No people will ever be free if they worship a God assigned to them by another people. God is not God, less God if you see him your way, and he is not less if you see him in your own image. Seeing the deity in your image is a responsibility, and you will never have full respect for the black father in your home if there's a white father hanging in your church.
Wow. I wonder if that is the same thing, Rasta. We not just play them because we love hear them, we want to play them because you must hear them. Yeah, man. Listen.
Do you want to know what is a scam? A scam is having the Bible translated into Swahili, Yoruba, Igbo, Zulu, and every other African language, but having 0 scientific books translated into a single African language. That is a conspiracy, that is a trap, and that's a scam. Someone who can be scammed with the same trick over and over again for decades upon decades is considered a fool, and their gullibility and lack of critical thinking make them willing participants in their own destruction. I have walked into different libraries, and I have seen university science books translated into Chinese, Russian, Portuguese, Arabic, and so forth. I have seen Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill translated into French, I have seen the Japanese version of A Man's Search for Meaning. I have seen the Spanish version of Alchemist. I have seen the Arabic version of The Art of War. All these books, I have seen them in various languages, but none in any African language. An African child is sent to Arabic school just to learn Arabic, so that he can read the word of her supposed creator, while the Arab prays and learn in their own language. African child learns and pray in other languages. You will find churches in Africa where the English became preacher would have a native translator next to them doing the translation. Here's where the scam comes. You will never find a school in Africa where the teacher will have a translator next to them to translate chemistry, physics, mathematics, geography, economics to the students. I have seen many science books translate into various languages, but none in any African language. The Chinese are taught mathematics in Chinese. The Japanese are taught engineering in Japanese. They are all taught finance, chemistry, astrophysics, accounting, medicine, geology, government in their languages. The only book that Africans have had in their languages is the Bible and Quran. The only time Africans have something translated them to in their language is in a church and mosque. The black African wretched of the earth is the only member of the human race who has been brainwashed to think that his ancestors bequeathed him with a curse that has prevented home from attaining his goal and desires. Almost every misfortune he encounters on earth is the fault of some ancestors who must be bound and cast in the fire of the Holy Ghost. The white people don't have terrible ancestors. The Arab that enslaved Africans for 700 years don't have wicked ancestors. No member of human's race has wicked ancestors who have done terrible things. No, it's only the black Africans. Black Africans are the only member of human race that will sit down, write a movie script to mock or belittle his or her heritage, In Western world, Xmas is the biggest festival. Christmas stemmed from both the Roman paganism and Roman cultures. The biggest festival in the world is Eid al-Fitr. The biggest festival in Israel is Pesach. The biggest festival in China is Spring Festival. Festival of Light is the biggest festival in India. Black people are probably the only human species on planet Earth that helps other races celebrate their own festivals, but nobody celebrates theirs with them. They generally believe their own ways are inferior. Therefore, it's hard for them to evolve the beautiful things their ancestors left. He belittled the ancestors who gave him life. The continent is the only continent where Christianity and Islam concept of a God is shared equally. Even though both preach peace and love, yet there is no peace and love. When an African man is not praying to a foreign God, he will be treating himself in a foreign hospital, or visiting another man's country for religious purposes, or praying to his own creator in Arabic. He calls another man's history holy book, just because they told him to ask him, what is holy about the book? It's an abomination for him to see the world through his own culture. Slaves weren't allowed to do that. He steals money from his land to keep in a foreign land. His God and his country was created for him. No wonder nobody respects him. The black man is roaming around the world like a tortoise without a shell. He has no backbone, zero identity. No one respects him. He is lynched in Malaysia, incarcerated in Cambodia. He is shot like a dog in the streets of America. Not until we all free our minds from mental slavery, we will be wretched of the world.
We just go through the paces and try bring attention to certain things. You understand? That is where they have to do upon the cutting edge, to bring attention to certain things like yourself. Yeah, because really yourself you are trying to bring it towards, to make you understand yourself more clearer. Especially in this mix-up place where we're there. Here mix up and mix down. We want some clarity of self. Clarity of self. Why you don't bring them in Uganda, where no left the program. Where we want the youth them in Uganda who know say them always listen because them know say them go hear something, we go hold them and keep them. But hear the people who say, Muta, play back that clip there for me now. I love it, you know why I love it? Because it's on go tune hear people that tell you to lick back, The program people want to hear back clips talking. Not just tune and music, they want to hear back a clip. So we're going to play it back, Yeah, man, we're going to cause, 2 days time we're going to celebrate the return of Haile Selassie to Ethiopia. Yes, the 5th of May, him left. 5 years before that, him left on the 5th of May. I was exiled. 5 years after, he come back to Ethiopia as a conquering lion on the 5th of May. And Rastafari celebrate that. So why you know that is taking place? A called Tal Migila out of Florida there. Serious song. I talk to my brethren in Oklahoma there. And I tell you, the thing don't look nice over there at all. I don't know if I go in America, Rasta, but it don't look good in America. Everybody still want to run go America. I mean, I tell you not to run go America, but look what is happening. It is not stable. It's the worst first world country in the world. It's not a good example of what a first world country should be. And the money has spin out and whole heap of money. Democrats, Republican, and the in-betweens. So the Gale guy, them are going like, them want to control the world. Go Africa tell people, how to run them life, where we know so we don't have that in our culture. Terrible thing. The bank, them are closed down, flood down on the south there. Mississippi, the things, them bust open water, run pan road like sea, not even like river again, like sea. Fire in the west coast, you know, youth them a shoot one another at school, are going to school and just a fire and a kill one another. You know, whole heap of things are going up there. So since we had the American argument, we're going to play this tune. I'm the first tune released in America. Yeah, from in the 80s. We're going to play it. About 40 years ago. About 40 years ago, that tune there. Believe you me. Wow, I listened to it and it's amazing. 40 years ago, we do it. Anyway, you know, say, we want to heal up a lady when no left the cutting edge at all. She never left the stepping reason either. We meet her for the first in a niggle the other day and my sister, she make some greater cake thing and curry. You know, them curry is Indian vibes. Because you know, say, down at Westmoreland, there will be Indian, you say. Take over that area there, Westmoreland. Yeah, man, Savannah them place there. Rice. That was the rice center, Jamaica, you know. Yeah, Westmoreland was the rice center. You get. We used to leave Kingston and go buy rice. Dan. We used to go buy Dan down there. You know when name Dan? Dan had the rice in the shell. And we used to carry it go. Why you know profile, you know? We used to carry it go to town and put it in a flour bag and beat it and blow the Dan out of it. And we get the rice itself. Because we never want to buy the rice in the shop. But at Westmoreland, we used to go feed. So why, you know, all the people them who still have that tradition in a Westmoreland. And we want to hear Miss Tiny from Westmoreland, you know, say, Mutabaruka nah forget you. You understand? Yes. Because we say, stay with me. All through this and through that. You stay with me. So we give thanks to Miss Tiny. We have others to big up to, you know, but we're going to come to them. Now, we see our assistant pass where we didn't know very good from school days too. She named Antoinette Arton. No, Antoinette Arton, one of them daughter where she did love Angela Davis so much, that afro where Angela Davis used to have, where it was a hallmark of black woman's identity. That big poster, we used to have one of them. A big poster, Angela Davis. Well, Antoinette Arton did have a big afro. I got school with. And she no ram for talk and argue. We used to walk up out a crossroad and have some serious conversation out a crossroad. Them days there, one did a search and a search for identity. Some serious argument developed amongst we. Now them little frivolous thing when we see on the internet there. Serious argument. She become a liar and then she have a radio program like this. And you know, one thing people now get me involved in, you know, because I remember Antoinette Arton was getting very popular upon the radio, you know. And people have said, why, Antoinette, you should have run in an election, you know, you should have run politics, you know. And she go running at the politics and never get a zing. You know, PNP and GLP clutch up this election thing so much, you know, this two-party system. Cousin and cousin. Can't let them go. Can't bring in somebody else in between. So Antoinette Arton now get caught in that and not never happen for her till eventually we hear say she on the run. I don't know what take place there, so liar business, people business, fraud and money business, so she on the run. Now we hear say Antoinette Arton pass away. Why heal up all who know Antoinette Arton as a stalwart, as a sister on a ramp for talk where she attack. Very politically motivated. Very, very black power conscious. Antoinette Arton. Oh, it's weird, you know, that some people over the years look at me and say, Muta, you know, see, I waste the time against black people, Rasta. You know, see, them now wake up, man. You talk all these things over the years and them now wake up. Let me tell you something. We still do it, and let me tell you something now. You see, true, you look outside and you not see no rain out of your doorway, it no means the rain not fall down the road from you. I tell you that. Or true you see rain out of your doorway. And you say, boy, the cold rain and fall, when you get no sunlight, that no means the sunlight no don't cross the other border, you know. So we continue doing what we're doing because we believe what we're doing is what we intend to do as long as we depend on the radio and as long as we have breath. So you know, nobody no come try to tell me this and tell me that. You know, say, but waste time. I know waste time. I come see time. I can't waste it. And it's there when I gone to. You have to have something where you live for. And maybe you will die for it too. Because that's the way of life. You don't want gold and that is it. Because the beauty of life and the life ahead of you is that when you're gone, your life continue in the minds and the heart of others as an uplifter and advancement of the human race. And in my case, especially African people, because all the struggle we have struggle is for Africa. You know, the others will come after we clean up our house. Because our house is in a mess, as you can hear the Virgin talk on one of the clip them. We're in a mess, man. I mean, you want to see the mess and the more mess, you go look on your YouTube. It's like go look on your YouTube, you see mess like mess, man. You wonder what the hell is happening with the mind and the ones them gone. How we reach this all. How we not say them gone with we again. It's like them go around the corner up and way, you know. Yeah, when we are look on them straight ahead, you know, them to say, turn off the light, look, turn on the light. Boy, them, we not see them again. Oh, them not there. That time them go around the corner and come back from you.
The informative information presented in this video is motivational and is positively aimed at inspiring, educating and entertaining the viewers with the cutting edge of critical reasoning. If you enjoy the contents on the Black Radar YouTube channel, please consider subscribing to show your support.